This is a picture of the continent Africa. There's a lot of lush vegetation to be found in the south. In contrast, things are very different in the north. It's the world's largest desert, with miles and miles of dune formation across various countries. The Sahara Desert has an area larger than the entire country of Spain, at 9 million square kilometers. The massive expanse of barren sand that makes up 1/3 of Africa was once lushly vegetated. Precisely what happened in the Sahara, and how is it faring at the moment? Scientists have made some pretty harrowing discoveries in the Sahara Desert, and we examine them in this video. Sahara on the west, the Red Sea on the east, the Mediterranean Sea on the north, and the Sahel Savanna on the south are all borders of the Atlantic Ocean. From Algeria to Chad, to Egypt to Libya, Mali to Mauritania, to Morocco to Niger, even to Western Sahara, the vast desert covers 11 countries. The sand dune fields of the Sahara Desert are the most well-known feature. The sand dunes can rise up to about 183 meters or roughly 600 feet. Only around 15% of the desert is occupied by these plants. Mountain ranges, plateaus, sand, and gravel-colored plains, salt flats, basins, and depressions are some of the region's other topographical features. How did the Sahara, once a lush tropical environment, devolve into the harsh desert it is today? Back thousands of years, the answer to this question has been clear. Humidity and aridity have long plagued the Sahara Desert. The tilt of the Earth's orbital axis, which affects the angle at which solar radiation enters the atmosphere, causes these oscillations. During the West African monsoon season, more solar energy has entered the Earth's atmosphere than at any other time in Earth's history. African humid periods are times when North Africa experiences a significant increase in rainfall. More rivers and lakes had been identified in the region due to increased rain. Strange things happened between 8,000 and 4,500 years ago. The change from humid to dry occurred much more swiftly in some areas than could be explained by orbital precession alone, leading to today's Sahara Desert. Archaeologist David Wright explains what happened next in his investigation. As he sifted through sediment cores and pollen records dated to the same period, he saw what he thought was a trend. There was an evident change in the types and varieties of flora where pastoralists, that is, humans and their tamed animals, were present. It seemed as if humans and their goats and cattle were constantly trampling across the meadows, turning everything they came across into brush and desert. To Wright's conclusion, this meant that by overgrazing the grasses, they were reducing the amount of atmospheric moisture, which causes clouds, and affecting albedo. To him, the rapid end of the humid period may have been caused by this, not the orbital shifts. By using fire as a land management tool, certain groups of nomads may have accelerated the spread of this desert. Are whales frolicking on sand dunes rolling in the Sahara Desert what you imagined? Whales can't live outside of water, so it's exceedingly implausible. Yet, there's evidence to suggest that ancestors of contemporary whales previously swam through the scorching African desert. Geologists led their camels into a valley in the western desert of Egypt in 1902. Sandstone boulders had been shaped by centuries of fierce wind, and the moonlight made the sand glitter like gold at night. There were whale bones in this arid region known as the Mountain of Hell, due to the unbearable summer heat. The vertebrae in some of the corpses were as thick as campfire logs, measuring up to 50 feet long. This area and northern Egypt were submerged by a shallow tropical sea 37 million years ago. Prehistoric fossils in the sand would reveal clues to biology's nagging questions. How did whales evolve into whales? Geologists didn't recognize it at the time. The existence of feet in these long-dead whales provided a clue. Whales had long been thought to have evolved from land mammals that had gradually migrated to the sea over millions of years, progressively losing their four legs in the process. Evidence of this is the fact that the hind leg bones of modern whales are still present. When paleontologists began digging hundreds of whale fossils buried in Wadi Hitan and discovered legs and knees, they could demonstrate the shift. Wadi Hitan's footed whale specimens are among the most numerous and well-preserved in the world. There are around 14,000 visitors every year to this UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is located about a 3-hour drive from Cairo. According to paleontologists, whales' landlubber ancestors may have been deer or pig-like scavengers who lived near the water. They began to spend more time in the water about 55 million years ago, first eating dead fish along the shore, then pursuing prey in the shallows, then finally wading further into the water. A few of them acquired characteristics that made it easier for them to hunt in the water. Their backbones became longer and their rib cages widened as they grew larger because they no longer had to bear the weight of their entire body while at sea. In the valley, most of the fossils fall into one of two categories. The giant with a body like that of an eel was known as Basilosaurus, until its jaw opened and revealed a jaw laced with serrated daggers instead of peg-like teeth. The smaller but more powerfully muscled Dorodon appeared more like a modern whale. More than 75 whale fossils have been discovered on the Atacama Desert in Chile. Among scientists, there has been disagreement as to exactly how they got there. I'm sure you've also heard of the fabled city Atlantis. You'd be surprised to learn how this famous city is linked to the next discovery in the Sahara Desert. The Rakat structure, commonly known as the Gueld Rakat, or the Eye of Sahara, is next. The Sahara Desert's geological structure resembles a gigantic bullseye in shape. A 40-kilometer wide area of desert in Mauritania is covered by the formation. Only a few of the region's nomadic groups were aware of the creation for decades. First spotted by the Gemini astronauts in the 1960s, it has since been used as a reference point for space landings. Landsat's subsequent photos and measurements of the formation's size, height, and breadth were available. For a long time, scientists assumed the Eye of the Sahara was an impact crater resulting from a spacecraft slamming into the desert floor. Geologists are looking for other theories after conducting extensive investigations on the rocks inside the structure, revealing that the building's origins are fully based on the Earth. A geologic dome, according to the findings of geologists studying the Eye of the Sahara. These rocks, some of which date back well before the emergence of life on the planet, are at least 100 million years old. In addition to volcanic deposits and sedimentary layers, these rocks also comprise sand and mud deposits that are pushed by the wind. Geologists can find kimberlite, carbonatites, black and rhyolites in the eye area, as well as other types of igneous rocks. The Eye of the Sahara, on the other hand, has another interpretation. Jimmy, the host of Bright Insights YouTube channel, adds that everyone assumes it must be submerged somewhere, such as in the deep waters of the Atlantic Ocean or the Mediterranean Sea. Rather, he proposes that it is actually located in what is called the Eye of the Sahara. Solon, an ancient Greek statesman, is widely regarded as the source of Plato's knowledge of Atlantis. Jimmy claims that the city is exactly the size and shape indicated by Plato, 23.5 kilometers in diameter and circular, and satellite imagery also shows the mountains to the north that Plato claimed flowed around the city. After a single day and night of tragedy, Plato claimed, Atlantis sunk beneath the waves. Atlantis is said to have vanished some 11,500 years ago when the Earth went through a major climate change. There is also satellite footage that looks like the aftermath of a tsunami that no one alive today would have witnessed. The Eye of the Sahara can be seen on a satellite map. Indeed, the entire area has been blasted by water, or was it a tsunami? We're still learning new things about the Sahara Desert, and this time, it's about an object discovered there with absolutely no apparent purpose whatsoever. Incredibly, these rings were discovered in one of Egypt's most hostile regions in the Sahara. Conical clay cylinders open on both ends, named for P.A. Clayton, the desert explorer and geographer. Ceramic discs that are slightly larger than the ring's smaller opening but don't fit as lids are always discovered with the rings. Each piece is unique, and some are one-of-a-kind works of art manufactured by potters, while others are simply fashioned from recycled pottery. There was no need for these items among the Egyptians who lived near the Nile. The nomadic herders of the Dakhla Oasis during Egypt's early dynasties, known as the Sheikh Mufta civilization, used them as part of their equipment. Caches up to 300 kilometers from permanent water supplies and outside the safe wandering range of any herdsman or hunter have been found with Clayton rings and discs, a remarkable discovery. Because of their importance, individuals went to great lengths, including crossing the desert, to bring Clayton's Rings back with them. Until now, no one knows the answer to this question. What was so important about Clayton's Rings that individuals would go to such lengths to obtain them? Until now, no one knows the solution. Leave a comment below and let us know what you think about these new findings in the Sahara. As always, we'll see you again in the next video right here on Quest, where we bring the cosmos to your screen. Thanks so much for watching.